Yes, people, we are live. Apologies. Weekly surgery episode 2. But before we get into it, people, let's hit the intro. Yes, people, and we are live back again for weekly surgery. Episode 2. I've got my brothers on the stream, man. So, guys, apologies for being late. A few technical issues, unfortunately, which can happen with YouTube live streams. But people, as I say, smash the like button if you haven't already, and follow my esteemed guests on their Twitter handles on their display pictures. And of course, get me on Instagram and Twitter, as you can see on my page. But people, yeah, a lot to talk about. A great victory against the people might call them the enemy, the noisy neighbors. Some people might even call them rivals, but that's a bit debatable, to be honest with you. But I want to big up to the people who came on and watched. I was on Holly Agambar's channel, which I agreed to go on way before the North London Derby for this game. So it was a beautiful stream, one of the best streams I've been on, going on somebody else's channel. It was poetry in motion, people. But big up to Holly for taking it on the chin, Patrick and Spurs views. But you know, they say North London is red, will forever be red. But yeah, Kesh, welcome back again, brother. Missed you at the game, unfortunately. But yeah, great to get you on again, bruv. How you been, man?
Been all right, man. Been all right. Over the moon with a victory, 3 points. You know, we move to the next game.
Yeah, 100%, bruv. We'll touch on there's a certain aspect I'm going to sort of bring up during our weekly surgery in Albert JTV practice. SC14. Not getting the rest of the postcode. But let me I'll get my boy. Schooner Souls is back again. Souls, we're gonna get you down for the Watford game, brother. It's gonna be awesome. But how you been keeping well? Brilliant content we see you on Just Your Channel and other shows. Keep doing your thing, bruv. How you been?
Yeah, it's good. Good win. I think it's a needed win. Despite it being a Northern derby, we needed a performance, we needed a victory, and we needed the result to kind of just come together as well. So 3-1, good performance. We move Brighton next. Let's make it 4.
Yeah, 100%. People in the chat ready. Big up my bro Rowan. I call him my little bro, man. Smashing up, doing his thing at football.london, man. Brilliant. Normski, big up to you. Shane, as usual. Anthony, big up to you as well. And of course, last but not least, the Prince of YouTube is decided to grace us with his presence. RJ, how you been, my bro?
Hear ye. Tottenham back in the toilet. What's going on, my brothers?
Nah, it's good. Glad to get. Yeah, I was looking forward to sort of speaking to you guys. God, the game's almost a week ago in a couple of days' time. It's mad how the week can go quickly. And big up, of course, I have to give a big up shout out to Keith, man, my guy, man. So yeah, North London derby, man. A lot's been said, actually in a positive and a negative way, to be honest, people. So I'm going to kick off with Gooner's Souls. Simple question, but we'll sort of divulge into it a little bit more. But what surprised you about Arsenal's victory, or maybe the way they played, in your opinion?
I think the finishing surprised me the most, to be honest, because I think that performance was coming, but I just didn't expect us to be so clinical. Even when you look at Norwich, for example, we had 30 shots, 7 on target, which is the main problem to why we're not scoring a lot of goals, is we're just not taking our opportunities when they come. Over the last 3 games, we've had, I think it was 94 shots created, which is the most since about 2017 or 2016. So when you think about it, the pattern of play has improved. And I feel like now that we've got that sort of spine back and the core of these players are here, and obviously those so-called Arteta signings are in this team, we're starting to see the performances come up. But I just didn't expect it, because the thing is, even against Norwich, we could have absolutely blew them out of the water. with the way we played, but we just got the one goal because we've just not been clinical over nearly 2 seasons now. And we're reliant on one goal scorer. I think the big question was whether ESR and Saka can add goals to their games. And we've seen it against Spurs. I think they could have had more than one goal each, to be honest. And I think the other thing that surprises me is how two-footed this team is. We've always complained about how left-foot dependent a lot of these players are in terms of Saka. When we look at Pepe, when we look at Odegaard, is this attack going to be too left-footed? We've seen Saka assist on his right foot and score on his right foot, which just goes to show how much more he's adding to his game. And I think that performance just kind of, if I'm to tell anyone, because obviously I can say, look at the Norwich game and you'll see what Arteta's doing. If you look at the Burnley game, you'll see what Arteta's doing. But if you look at the Spurs game, you've seen both sides to his game. In the first half, you've seen what he's trying to do attackingly in terms of make us a free-flowing team, but then also the defensive aspect of the game. What I'll say is, it seems like Arteta's taking things from Wenger, Moyes, and Pep Guardiola as well in terms of the press. Has come from Guardiola in terms of we press space, not man. And then when you look at the defensive structure, that's what Moyes is more known for. And then obviously the way that we play this free fluid football is Wenger ball. And he's taking like the best of each of the managers he's so-called being under. And he's now implementing that into the way that we play. When he has his 11, this is what we're going to see. And this is what excites me. And it finally came together. But the real question is, because I've talked about their culture and mentality changing massively in terms of even after the goal, our heads didn't drop. I know we're 3-1 up, so why does that really matter? When normally we'd start to see the team crumble a little bit and be like, shit, okay, like we really need to step it up. So I think it was the finishing and the mentality of this team to just keep going, even after a few missed opportunities. And the way that the season started to how it's going now, we've not really ever seen this from Arsenal. Usually the whole season would crumble under this. So I like it. I think there's still a few things he needs to tweak in terms of he should have made the substitutions early and we could have kept a clean sheet. But I like it. I like it so far. And I think we were ruthless for the first time, in my opinion.
That's the key word, ruthless. Us as Arsenal fans have been moaning about that for years in many aspects. But yeah, Souls, big up to you, man. I'm going to come to Kesh, actually. Yeah, same question to you. Maybe nothing surprised you, to be honest, with the performance because it's a North London derby, or is it a case of you were surprised with what you saw? What did you make of the game? Obviously, he's at the game. Didn't get to see you, brother, which is a shame, but yeah, go ahead.
I wasn't surprised by the victory. I expected us to win. What surprised me the most was how fast we came out of the blocks. That's something we've not seen under Mikel Arteta. That's something that's been missing. And you know what? If you can put a game away in the first 30 minutes, you'll always be in control of that game. That's something you see from the likes of City over the years, Liverpool over the years. Getting a goal early in the game puts the team on the back foot. And we put them on the back foot where they had to come out. And once they came out, we was breathtaking going forward. We split them apart. And it wasn't just predominantly down the left like what we've seen over the last season or so. You've seen a lot more balanced team going on attacking from both sides. And we're actually using our midfield players now to play through the lines as well. So there's a lot of improvement there. And as Sol said, like the finishing, we've been asking for players to just be clinical. Take your opportunities when they come. You know, they sensed blood and they took it. They absolutely ate them up all day, all game. They couldn't live with us. And I know a lot of people, I watch the highlights, because when you watch the game live, you see it, but you don't exactly get to go over it again. And yes, the Tottenham midfield was very disjointed, but at the end of the day, we played teams that played like that last season, but we was that team. You know what I mean? And you've got to play what's in front of you, and you've got to make the most of it. And like I said, they've done exactly what we want them to do, and we move on to the next game.
Yeah, so big up. Look at that. Eric, mute again. But yeah, Kesh, is your voice recovered from Sunday yet?
Just about.
But I was in bits when I went into work the next day, man. Flipping, no.
Bro, I was finished from all the alcohol, man. I was lean up.
No, bro, there's a lot of people that went to work probably with less than 4 hours sleep the following day. But you know what? It is what it
And
is.
a massive hangover. Massive hangover.
Big up to Kesh, man. RJ, bring you in, bro. Yeah, what did you make of what was your sort of immediate thoughts after the game and probably a few days after it?
Well, I thought for starters, wow, that
Yeah,
the way to start that game was just everything we've been asking for to see something. I was just, I don't know, I was more impressed with, Tony Adams said it on Sky Sports, the structure, the back line,
yeah,
how stable it was,
yeah,
and we didn't crumble after they scored their goal in the second half. And to be honest, I was just impressed with everything. And a few days of settling, even now, I'm just like, did that really just happen? Like,
yeah,
you
100%.
know. But going forward, this is the thing. He set the standard now. We know what this team are capable of. So it's just how we maintain this and looking into this Brighton game next, which is a very tough opponent.
Yeah,
How are we going to be able to deal with them?
good
So
football
that's
inside.
really
Yeah.
my immediate thoughts.
No, big up RJ. No, you're right. Brighton's a very good football inside. Actually, Graham Potter's got them playing some good stuff, man. And it's going to be tough. You know what? Even to be honest, our record at Brighton. I know we won. I know we beat them 1-0 last season. But our record actually at Brighton is horrendous. Whether that's been in the Premiership in the last few years, or if you're looking at it from a history point of view, it's well. I think I was just about born when we sort of beat them before last season. But so that tells you how long ago that was. But yeah, big up to you guys. Yeah, my thoughts quickly. So before we move on, because we're going to move on nicely to the next one, I'm going to sort of ask you guys about is like Kesh kind of mentioned. I wasn't surprised that Arsenal won. It's the way they've done it. Because I'm sick and tired of the team not starting on the front foot. I'm tired of it. Poor 45 minutes, poor 20 minutes. And I said it when we played against Norwich that the issue we had was because we didn't score in the first 20, 25 minutes, that you could see it with the fans getting twitchy and the players, the confidence probably wasn't there. We hadn't scored a goal. It does set the tone and makes a big difference. Erdegaard, for me, particularly that first 20, 25 minutes was different class. And what I liked was the fact that there was a couple of times I've seen him play. I like to see him receive the ball. Yes, he's good at receiving the ball in the deep areas. I understand that. And he can get the ball on the half turn and progress it. But I just like to, and it's not even a major tactical sort of switch. It's just sort of move up the pitch another 5-10 yards. It makes such a difference. And the thing that really, really impressive with Arsenal, apart from the ruthless finishing, like Souls mentioned, was the fact that I was watching us particularly out of possession. Beautiful. Tottenham could not penetrate us whatsoever. Even with the midfield, you looked at it, there wasn't probably even a gap of probably 3 or 4 yards at best. It was brilliant out of possession. And that's what I enjoyed
There was
seeing.
times when you saw 2 players ganging up on the player.
Yeah.
Like the communication was there. Like there was a structure. There was that cohesion. The midfield three wasn't too far away from each other.
Yeah.
Partey protected the back four. He was always there, ready to put a leg in. So listen, like it was positive signs. Very positive signs.
Yeah. Let me come back to you before I move on to the next bit. All you guys. I want to get your thoughts. Something I sort of mentioned about obviously being at the game. You know what? I wasn't there for the 4-2 when Emery was there. So people in the chat, if he was there, or I don't know if you guys knew people that went there. But in terms of the times I've been at the Emirates, that's the best ever atmosphere I've been to a game. It was incredible. The singing, I was in the same end as Lottie's in the chat. We stood up the whole game. That's the first time I've done that at the Emirates. First time I've ever done that at the Emirates. Never didn't sit down once.
That's
Only
the thing,
half
though.
time, probably. Yeah, but
that's the thing, though. Like I often feel like a lot of the fans don't try and create that atmosphere. Like
yeah,
everyone was bang on it even before kickoff. Like
the concourse was pumped,
like,
bro. Yeah,
it
they
was
was pumped.
doubted. And for me, that's That's set the precedence now. Like that is the standards that we need to keep it. We need to make when other teams come to the Emirates, it's very loud. It's a fortress. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
Because we are the 11th men.
Yeah.
The 12th,
100%.
I'd say. We are the 12th men. So we need to play our part as well.
No, 100%, man. It just, it was the best for me. It was the best atmosphere I've been to ever at Emirates Stadium, I must admit. But yeah, the thing I wanted to sort of ask you guys was one thing that I really did like. I mentioned I've been on a few shows. Big up Hybrid Squad and obviously big up Holly's channel as well. Even though you're a Tottenham fan, but you know what, it can't be helped. But when it comes to RJ first, one thing is I mentioned aggression, and I wasn't talking about being, Norman Hunter or Chopper Harris back in the day, smashing people up in the air. If you just looked like things off the ball, Kesh would have seen it at the game, been at the game as well. The Ramsdale rallying the crowd, Erdegaard, Gabriel. There was some great still images going on Twitter. The one with Ben White and Gabriel pumped. I thought, yes, that's my centre backs. That's my back five. Aaron, pick up the mic, man. Aaron Rambo Ramsdale. That's what we should call him now. Did you see that save? Unbelievable. But yeah, RJ, sorry, bro. Yeah, bring it. I know it's a North London derby. I understand that, but that's what I want to see, man. Like, I want to see the togetherness and then talk about the continuity. I've been banging on about the back five and the back four, whatever. But yeah, RJ, didn't bring you in, bro.
I mean, it was nice to see. It felt like they cared.
Yeah.
For years we've been questioning players on do they get it, and it's not even just about the North London derby. Do they get it? It's just all over. Do they get what it means to represent the badge? You know, we've questioned so much, and then we've seen all these players come in, and it just feels like
sorry, RJ. Sorry.
Monthly. No, I love that.
No, that is brilliant. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Big up North, you put at the chat.
I'll keep it short and sweet. For me, that just showed me like there's real love in this club right now. And like Kesh said, we need to be back in this 110%. Because let's face it, they went out, not all of these new players, but some of them, the team missed us last season. They needed us as well. Yeah. So for us to push forward, as well as how they are gelling together, getting to know each other, and the continuity of the team, we need to be supporting them 110%. I know we're going to probably get angry and players are going to mess up, but right now we really need to be together, as they did say a few years ago. I think when Emery was here, all they want us to do together. Edu said that he just wants to see the first 11 playing together. We need that togetherness, and that's what has been fractured at this club for so long. So we just need to just be there, support them, and even the chest bump with Ramsdale and Tomiyasu, that gassed me up. I can't lie.
Was that the one? Was that when Ramsdale made the save?
The Harry Kane. Harry Kane saved it.
Yeah. So before I come to you, after
that was important.
Toma flipping Yasu. Did you see our right back, bro? Did you see it? I had to tell them Tottenham guys on the channel. Patrick Tyrant.
He made Son run away.
Really?
He made Son run away.
You know what? And it's not even, people are going to say, we're going to come to next week. We're going to come to Souls quickly. But yeah, man, what's your thoughts sort of to me talking about the aggression and the sort of, what did you see it and did you sort of feel it sort of thing?
This is what I've been banging on about for the whole summer, where people are screaming about Guendouzi being loaned out again or potentially being sold. This is why, this is why I've been one of those fans that are trying to be patient with the so-called project, process, whatever you want to call it, because this is what he wanted. This is like, if you look at the players we're praising, who pushed for them? Arteta. Edu wanted the opposite of each of those signings. Edu said, I want Emerson to come in, Neto to come in. But he was like, nah, I want Tomiyasu, I want my Ramsdale. Yes, we paid over the odds for them, but look at what they bring. Even before they joined, they were so passionate about Arsenal. And that's all we've been missing. Now, I'm not saying all we want is passion merchants. I'm not, you need the quality to back it. But, I made a whole thread about, Ramsdale. I've spoken at length about what Ramsdale is going to offer to this team. I made a thread about what Tomiyasu is going to bring to the team. And I've spoken to length that we're no longer just buying players. we're buying mentalities, we're buying profiles. We're no longer sitting there and going, actually, I want to sign Cristiano Ronaldo, I want to sign Mbappe, I want to sign Neymar. No, because they don't fit. If they don't fit, they don't fit. And that's what Arteta's trying to build in this team. It's a culture. Like, if you look at every single one of his signings, like Odegaard praises the club. He says he loves the club. I love being here. This feels like home to me, etc. When you look at Tomiyasu when he came in, he goes, if the manager tells me to play strike, I'm playing strike. If he tells me to play midfield, I'm playing midfield. Whatever the manager tells me to do, I'm going to do it. Ramsdale's the same. Like, this is a dream for me. He bought his granddad's ashes or something like that, to the contract signing. This meant the world to them. And that's all we've been missing. And that's why it's what this creates? An atmosphere of responsibility. Like, if Tomiyasu makes a mistake, Ben White's going to help him out. If Gabriel makes a mistake, someone's going to help him out. Ramsdale, no one's going to be like, oh, what are you doing? Why did you make a mistake? Like we've had for a long time. Mustafi, for example, used to do this all the time, blame the other person. Xhaka this season hasn't done that so much, but Xhaka used to do it a lot as well. And we used to have so many players blame players for doing something rather than just being like, fuck it, you know what? Okay, I've cleaned it up. It's happened. Let's move. And you'll see it like, Aubameyang's doing it as well, where if a player did make a mistake, arm around his shoulder and goes, come on, bud, let's go. And that's what we're doing now. We're creating what is called a winning culture, in my opinion. We've seen, for 3 games, we've seen his 11, and we're seeing the culture's changed, mentality's changed. You look at Burnley, for example. How resilient did we have to be to win that game against Norwich? How much resilience did we need to show to win a game like that? Yes, they're 1-0. Yes, they're poor sides. Then we come into this game, we take it 1-0. We don't just stop there. We go again, and we go again. The goal went in. No one got blamed for it. No one sat there, thrown there, toys out the pram and gone, why didn't we keep the clean sheet? They carried on. And that's what I love to see. Is everyone's taking responsibility. But also, they're like, you know what? I'm not going to blame a player. Or like for example, when Ben White made that back pass and Ramsdale could have given away a penalty or something, but he went to save his defender. He goes, you know what? I'm going to try. If the blame comes on me, it comes on me. And that's what we're now starting to do. Is responsibilities are now being taken.
Yeah. Even with the goal we conceded, he said it himself. He said that shouldn't even been a goal. I should have saved it.
Yeah, he looked vexed that winning.
Yeah, that was Leno.
Sorry, 2 seconds, boy. Sorry, Normski, I've seen your question. The guys will probably incorporate it within probably the next answer when I bring up the next topic. But no, listen. You see with Tomiyasu, right? I'm going to talk. Let me talk Ben White quickly, very quickly. Man pocketed Kane. Pocketed him.
Yeah.
England's #1 captain. Put some respect on Ben White's name in that game in isolation. Arsenal fans, get behind him. He will come good. He will come good. I'll even go, and it's not like me to say I'll stick my neck on the line for some of these Arsenal players, but with him, I'm willing to go there. So you've heard me say it. So sort of the next question. This is going to come in quite beautifully, actually. Not the next question, but you can sort of add to it. But obviously, 6 games have gone in the season. Arsenal on a bit of a confidence boost for picking up some wins. But as you know, with our fan base, sections of it can be split any time of the season, to be honest. RJ, I'm going to come back to you, mate. I'll give you a bit of context before you sort of say what you want to say. That's the best way I can put this. So you've got people saying Arsenal fans are getting carried away. For example, that's one narrative I've heard over the last few days. It's only Tottenham. We always beat Tottenham. We only scraped past Norwich. We only scraped past Burnley. When we come up against someone better. RJ, what it is with me, right, is I'm not saying I know everything about football or Arsenal because I don't, but if you can't enjoy a North London Derby Day win, then when can you enjoy a victory? In your opinion, do you feel some of the Arsenal fans are getting too overboard in terms of, I've even heard certain people talk about, a back 4, a potential league title winning back 4, back 5. That's where I kind of draw the line a little bit. I want them to be a great back 4 if titles come with it, We're not going to complain as Arsenal fans. Are you mad? But let's slightly change the narrative a tiny bit. But Arjun, let me bring you in. Sorry.
I can understand why a lot of us, well, I'm not saying us personally, but
Yeah.
within the fan base, I can understand why some sections could be on the floor, on the ground, more like,
Yeah.
okay, sensible. Let's just take this one game at a time because we've been here before. Like
Yeah.
we've been on a
100%.
run, and I remember last season we beat Man United, and we were like, oh snap, we beat United, and then we lose to Villa at home. We got battered. But
Yeah.
there's another
Yeah.
part where it's like, yeah, okay, we always beat Tottenham, but it's the manner and how we
Yeah.
beat Tottenham.
100%.
So I think and also you have to add into context as well. Look at the start of the season. We were absolutely getting battered all over the pitch, to social media. People were even throwing Arsenal as a joke on TV programs and stuff. I mean, we
Yeah.
were getting battered left, right, and centre. You
Everywhere.
couldn't crack your
Everywhere.
house with an Arsenal
Everywhere.
top on. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So what I will say in a whole, I don't think we should go on and start thinking, okay, league title and top four. I mean, I heard Mercer talk about we got potential to get top four. Potential's the word. I'd lean
Yeah.
on that word. Let's just see
Yeah.
how it goes. That's just what we have to do. We have to take this game by game and just steady the ship. But support the boys. Don't get carried away because you don't want to hurt yourself later on. I just don't be overly negative. I mean, if you want that, then
Yeah.
start the season all over again when we was at Brentford getting bullied. Go ahead. Because
Yeah.
I'm living in the now and the present. I'm
Yeah.
taking this one game at a
100%.
time. That's how I feel.
Yeah. RJ, well said. Big up to you, man. Big up to people in the chat who's been quite lively, man. Like I said, smash that like button, people. I'm gonna come to Kesh actually. Yeah, same sort of question. What I mean, like I said, us guys are all on social media. We see it. We see the fans going way overboard in both spectrums. Where do you sit, Kesh, in terms of how you view the team and obviously what you see amongst the fan base, in particular because we've gone over the last few games. You know what? Winning breeds confidence. So it's all right to be happy sometimes. Arsenal fans, it's all right. It's all right. You don't have to tweet all the time and be upset and have verbal spats. Just it's cool. But yeah, Kesh, what's your sort of thoughts and feelings, man?
For me, listen, this team, it's now got the stability that we've been missing for many years. Like that freshness, that bit of young blood that's willing to be determined and fight for this badge. And we've seen it. I know we didn't see much in the first three games, but we didn't exactly have the core of our starting 11. Context needs to be applied there. Yes, the Brentford game, you'd at least hope to get a draw, but I don't think a lot of the squad was up for it as a whole unit. But now you got your starting 11. Now you saw against Tottenham, and as RJ said, it's the manner of how we got that victory. There was battles being won all over the pitch. Like take the goals away. Let's take the goals away. The battles was being won. The fight was being put in, and that's all we've asked for many years. Can you fight from the minute go to 90 minutes? As long as you're doing that, we as fans can look at you and said, you put your 100% effort out there today, and that's what you want when you're playing for the Arsenal shirt. Now, I know a lot of fans want to run before they can walk. I get it. They're eager beavers, I call them. Yeah, but you've got to sometimes remain balanced and look at your situation. Look at the era now. The era now is Chelsea's spent on a big striker. Man City's always going to be efficient on the Pep Guardiola. Man United's got lots of great players, and even though they may play poor at times, their individual brilliance will get them over the line. Liverpool, they've got a crazy 11. 11 that you know is going to constantly win points. Yes, by all means, if you're there or thereabouts in March by any miracle, then you can say, you know what, we've got this far. It's March. We're like 2 to 3 months away from finishing the season. Let's actually carry on. Let's keep pushing because you never know what can happen. Just like how you never expected Chelsea to go and get top four last year because Leicester should have actually got it. What teams can fall off. But for the era now, let's focus on getting the basics right. And the basics as of now, since the Norwich game, was winning points that we know we should be winning. The points that you know you should be winning, once you're getting those on the board, you're going in the right direction because that means you're finding some sort of consistency. Arsenal have not had consistency of picking up points against the likes. Even though we beat Brighton twice last year, other teams like Brighton, we was going to their ground or they was coming there, nicking a draw, and we wasn't getting the maximum points. So we couldn't meet our expectations. But once you're doing the basics and you're winning those 3 points, you're always getting closer and closer and closer to your expectation, your season goal. Now we beat Tottenham. Let's go Brighton. Let's try going on a 4-game winning streak. Once you've done that and you achieve that, then you can focus on the next game. And if you keep doing that and you keep getting the things right, that's how you're there and thereabouts come March. That's the way it works in my books. There's no point getting over carried away because what's going to happen is you're going to just leave yourself open to criticism, leave yourself open to the humiliation of being on Twitter where people are captioning you saying, you said this, you said that. And once again, Arsenal has not achieved it. As I said, we've got the basics. This squad is good enough to go and get Europa League. For me, out of all the teams that should be getting Europa League this season, should be Leicester, Arsenal, and the likes of Tottenham. 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's our target. Anything else is a bonus. It's not a bad target. Let's not look at the past and say we're this great Arsenal. We know we're great. But look at the era now and look at the context behind our team and where we are. And let's just take it one step at a time. Simple as that for me.
Amen, Pastor Kesh. That's why I like to have you on here, bro. Let me come to my bro. So, sort of same question to you, bro. Like, where's your head been at in terms of what you've seen amongst the, how can I put it, the mood amongst the fan base in terms of from a maybe an overly positive aspect to an extremely negative one? I've seen me personally, I've seen very few down the road with a little bit of aspects of both. It seems to be Arsenal almost can't win. We win the game, we should beat them. We lose, Arteta's got to go. There's no middle ground. So what's your thoughts on, bro?
Yeah, similar to Kesh, I think the objective was always get Europa League at the bare minimum. Top 4 is a bonus for me. Obviously, it'd be amazing to get top 4 and get back into the Champions League, but we have to be realistic with how we expect this season to go. This is phase 1 of phase 2. Europa League will determine whether we get back to where we need to be in terms of getting that James Maddison signing, getting those, Lautaro Martinez's through the doors and those Alexander Isaacs and the Dominic Calvert-Lewin, because that's the next phase, is getting that big name striker and that big name midfielder to be the future of this club. And the thing is, the reason I don't really care if people want to go overboard, if they want to be ultra negative. I don't really mind, as long as you're backing why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And as long as you're using logic and context to why you're being this way. And for me, look, the first thing we are with fans have a lot of emotions. Like, that is our job, to be emotional. Like, it is. Like, I don't care what anyone says. We're emotionally invested within our club. Like, look at how Ronaldo celebrated yesterday against Villarreal. That's embarrassing. Your performance was shocking, but you took your top off. Like, if you're gonna start to objectify absolutely everything and start finding everything offending, then let's go there. Why did Salah celebrate the way he did? That's embarrassing. Why did you celebrate by taking your top off the other week against was it Crystal Palace or something? If we're going to start to do that, then we go down a rabbit hole that we don't want to be going down. It's a 90-minute winner in the Champions League when you're against the Kosh. Like, of course, do it. Like, let the emotions out. Like, because we've been getting stick for so long for being Arsenal. We're this banter club. We're going nowhere. We're getting relegated. Spurs are above you. Spurs are better than you. All of this, right? We get this. And then as soon as we beat them, they're irrelevant. They're shit. They're this. Why does the narrative change the minute we beat a team? Why is the energy not the same coming into it? Because we got it. Like look at who you signed 150 million down the drain, but that 150 million actually smashed you, not beat you, fucking destroyed your club in the North London derby. So let's keep the energy the same. And I think, look, we're fans. Back your club, be excited, go over the top. I don't care, go over the top, because that's your job as a fan. You're not a football expert, you're not a coach, you're not Arteta, where you now need to be rational and bring the calmness down and go, look, guys, that's what the players need to do. The players need to keep it in their heads and keep level-headed. The fans go overboard. Like, that's our job, man. We're fans. Like, but why am I excited? I'll say it's because what I've been screaming for 18 months is what he's trying to do. We know he wants to attack in a 2-3-5. We know he wants to defend in a 4-4-2 block. We know he wants to do this, but he's never had his players to do it. Now we've seen his players come in, the system's flourishing. We're seeing the culture change that he's been speaking about. And I think it's because a lot of the so-called positive fans, or the Arteta-ins, or however you want to define that sort of category, I've been getting that stick for 18 months, because I've been saying, let's be real. Like, he is building something. It may not be in our image, it may not be what we want, but there is something cooking here. And I've said that this window could become a masterclass that we never seen coming, or it could be the biggest flop that Arsenal have ever done. And I got laughed at saying that, because I was like, what do you mean? How can this ever be a masterclass? I'm not saying it is yet. There's still 2 seasons to go until we realize that. But for me, it's like, let's be excited as a fan.
So it's 2 things, well said. 2 things, like even with in regards to signings, for example, and I said it when the one player we got linked with, I don't think no Arsenal fans saw coming. I definitely didn't see it coming, unless you guys know something in the know, but was the Ramsdale link. I was just thinking, what is going on? But listen, Keshi's at the game on Sunday. They love this guy. They love him. Some of the songs are singing about him, because so you made a good point earlier, and I said it before when I said to someone, look, Arsenal don't bring a lot of positivity to the fans, right? But one thing I did sort of give me a smile to my face was anybody that saw Aaron Ramsdale's interview on Arsenal.com when he signed for us. That is what you want, man. I've never seen someone so happy. Like that, if that can't bring, if as an Arsenal fan, irrespective of your age generation when you started supporting him, if that can't bring a smile to your face, then I don't know what will. And in terms of the negativity thing, right? I'll give you a small example. Arsenal did the fan cam thing, right? Arteta, when Saka scored the 3rd goal.
Is that the bench cam thing that you mean?
Yeah, the bench cam.
Oh yeah.
And people were complaining. I'm thinking, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, if you
what did Arteta do? I watched him. I forgot what you did.
He was celebrating the goal, and they showed him and Saka's. And I thought to myself, if you can really find something to complain about that, then you need to stop watching football, because it was ridiculous. Like, why are you? And you know what? I said this when I did the fan cam for Lee Judge's TV. Big up to them guys. Irrespective of whatever you think of Mikel Arteta, and I said the key word souls, Kesh and Ryan, in isolation. When the cameras were cutting to him at that stadium, I've never seen the man look possessed, bro. He was pumped. And I thought, you know what, lad? Arteta, I'll give you that one, man. I'll 100% back and give you that one, because he looked on it. So if you can find negativity in that, Arsenal fans, listen, change the sport, man. Seriously, man. But yeah, guys, big up to you for talking about that, man. It's the fan base. Sometimes they're a bit of a lawn to themselves, if I'm being truthful. But yeah, next thing, what was I going to mention to you guys now? Now I'm going to kick this off, and you guys might want to sort of tweak what you might want to ask the rest of the panel. Hidden question, people. Hashtag question time, hidden question. So my question to the panel, quite a straightforward one, actually, because we're talking about Arsenal and fortunes and games coming up. We've got an interesting set of fixtures coming up. We've got Brighton away, obviously, on Saturday. We've got Palace on the 18th of October after the international break, I believe. We've got Villa on the 22nd of October at home. And we've got Leicester away. I think it's the 30th of October, if I got that right. Points-wise, let me kick off with RJ. Out of 12 points out of those fixtures, my bro, what do you think Arsenal are going to get? What will be a good return in your opinion?
Well, winning all those games would be, but if we're going to be realistic, maybe 10. I'm totally honest with you.
Wow,
Maybe
that's high. That's positive. That's high.
Well, like I said, they set the standard, so
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I
Yeah,
mean,
100%.
why not? Do you know what I mean? They gave us some confidence, and we saw what we saw. So if they can kill off teams in the first half, make a statement. Just try it. But yeah, 10 for me.
Wow, that's a good shout. So you reckon we're saying that what the Brighton away win?
Yes.
Palace at home?
I think that should be a win.
Right, 6 points. Villa at home?
I think that will probably be a draw. I think Villa are a very tricky side.
And we'll beat Leicester away. That's your 10.
Yeah, I think so. They're quite a dodgy side, to be honest. A bit up and down, but yeah.
The Prince of YouTube has spoken. 10 out of 12. He's talked about standards. That's what I'm talking about. Big up to you, RJ, my brother. We're going to come to Kesh. Kesh is scratching his chin. He's thinking away. I can see man looking, pencil, thinking, right, no, that's a good question. Let me see what I can come up with. Kesh, so yeah, same question to you, man. Like I said, a tough set of fixtures, but winnable. As RJ
how many games was that?
That's 4 games, maximum 12 points. So Brighton away, Palace at home, Villa at home, Leicester away.
So before the Norwich game,
yeah,
I said his next 7, he should be getting 13 points minimum. What I said. So I think out of all of that, he's got what, 9 now?
Yes.
4 games left. What's that? 12.
Yeah.
That's even way beyond the target.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if he can go out there and get at least another, say, 10 points,
yeah,
he's more than happy. I think the Palace game, will be difficult.
Yeah.
You don't tend to do quite well, but I've got hope that we can go on and do something there. The Villa game, I think that's the one that will be the most difficult of all of them.
You reckon?
I think that will be the most difficult of all of them. I think Leicester, they can be got at. I don't think they're living up to their high standards that they've set over the last 2 years. And who knows, like, if we can go on and beat Brighton, more confidence installed into the team. As I said, they just have to take it step by step, because we don't know what injuries or things we may pick up. Touch wood. That could change the whole narrative, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just going game by game, but I do think at least 10 points.
Right. RJ and Kesh are setting the standards. When we come to my bro, Solzy, what you saying, man? What you saying points return wise, mate?
It is hard to say. It's really hard to say because we're 3 on the bounce in the Premier League. Obviously, if you're taking the League Cup into consideration, then we're 4 on the bounce in terms of just wins. Obviously, players are fit, but we know what that can happen. Like literally after the international break, they could all just be out. Like we know the fortunes of Arsenal in it. But given the circumstances that they are fit, I'd say I agree. I think 10 to 12 points. I am very confident that we can turn this narrative around. And I think for me, it starts with Brighton because we've had a big win. If we beat Brighton, it breaks that pattern of, oh yeah, we've had a big win. Can we go and beat the next opposition? For me, there is a loss coming. Don't get it twisted. We're not going invincible for the rest of the season. There is going to be a loss somewhere. Because that seems to be forgotten when people are positive. Like it seems everyone, you're going to go invincible now, aren't you? Like, no, we're not saying that. We know there's a loss coming. But the thing is, for me, like winning breeds winning, and that as you win, the momentum shifts you forward. And we could be going into that Villa game. Let's say we beat Brighton and Crystal Palace, and that's 5 games that we've won. We could be going into that Villa game. Yes, it's a tough game because we haven't been able to beat them last season. They beat us 3-0 and 1-0. Obviously, you can say they've strengthened or they've weakened because they don't have Grealish. That's an argument you can have, however you want it. But they look good. They're a very good attacking side. Obviously, Leon Bailey's like smashing it right now. So, but I think 10 points is very achievable because Leicester, we battered them last season, like at their place. It was 3-1, a very good performance. We pressed well. We got at them, and they haven't really improved. We're still yet to see what Samari's going to do for them and what Paston Daka is going to do for them.
Yeah.
So they've not started well, but obviously anything can change. They've still got like 3 or 4 games until we play them. But yeah, I think 10 out of 12 is very logical.
Yeah. Oh, someone gonna go.
Have we ever gone on a winning streak with it, Mikhail? Like
not like this, no. We've
like
gone 3, yeah, we've done 3, but not like a 5, 6, 7, like not like that, no.
No, not like that. Yeah,
For me,
I know what you mean.
For me, if a team is able to string a 7-game win streak,
yeah,
that shows
that's what we need to do. That's what needs to happen.
shows
That's what needs to. Yeah.
But obviously, as Saul just said, you will always pick up a loss here and there. But if you can string a 7-game winning streak, then there's no question that you could probably take a loss and then go on and do it again. That's the consistency that you want to breed into this team.
No, well said. Myself, I think we'll pick up a couple of draws there actually. So I'm gonna go. I want to be proved wrong, hence the reason why I'm saying it a little bit. But I'm gonna say 8 out of 12.
That's not a bad return. It's not a bad return.
I think there'll be a couple of draws in there.
Who do you reckon the draws will come against?
I think I got a feeling about the Palace game. That hit me straight away. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I actually think we'll get a point on Saturday. I think.
So you reckon we'll win the rest of them? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we'll beat Leicester. We'll beat Villa.
But do you know? I think the atmosphere will be rocking because of Patty B being there. Like it's kind of like just an emotion. It's not a derby, but it's just one of those emotional derbies, isn't it? That we just create for the sake of it.
Yeah, listen, the Palace and Brighton's a derby. I'm still trying to work that one out. There's a story.
No, I don't mean it's a derby. But like because Patrick Vieira's there, it's just like one of those, and it would just
No, big up to you guys. It's tough. We've got there's some winnable games in there, but obviously, like you guys say, and I agree with you. You do have to kind of look at the bigger picture and think, you know what, they are winnable, but Arsenal can throw in some horror shit.
Cool.
If he gets all 12 out of 12, I'm standing up and applauding it because that for me that's what is that then, like 10 wins? No, 7 or 8 wins in a row or something.
About that roughly, I'd say. Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to bring in RJ because I want to see what you're going to chuck at us, your beloved brothers, with a question. What are you going to say, bro?
Right. So there's been a few questions, but there's one that's been playing on my mind, and obviously my boy Kesh, we have this Pepe judgment. We've had our thoughts about Pepe in the past. Oh, you want to say something quick?
He's got now. Go on, keep talking. Cool. Go on.
So now look, we looked at the game on the weekend, and it could be a 2-part question, but all right, cool. 2-part question. Now, for me, number one, do you think we should have put Pepe on within the second half? And number 2, how good does he have to do to be for him to stay on at this club within the summer? Because me personally, I think for me, this is the last season in my book for him to really impress me. Because my thoughts on Pepe. There's too many inconsistencies with him. There's times where I look at him in games, he just looks completely brain dead. And of course, we could look at Arteta and be like, well, you're the manager, you got to help him out. Yeah. Or maybe moving to the left, etc., etc. Yeah. But once you're out there on the pitch, it's down to you. The manager can only tell you so much. But I just want to gauge you guys' thoughts on that.
Yeah. So say that first, Souls, man. Go on, bro.
Yeah, for me, I've always said this is his make or break season. Yeah, he had a good end to the season where he scored, I think, in 3 or 4 games in a row. But for me, I just think his footballing IQ doesn't match this team. It's like you've got the final piece of the puzzle, and you've just got to open a new puzzle to try and fit that, to make that gap. And it's like it doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. He slows the game down for us. He needs 3 or 4 seconds on the ball before he makes a decision. He's not decisive. He's not like, I'm just going to go for it. He has to think about everything. And for me, that's where he goes wrong. And for me, it's like, you're not going to take Saka's position. That right wing is Saka's. You're not taking that. Left wing, ESR is looking a lot better than what Pepe's done for me. And I've always said it, if Saka and ESR add goals to their game, it's night for Pepe. Like, he's gone, fam. You might as well pack your bags and go right now. Like, if they add goals to their games. Like, there's no point waiting for a summer because you're not coming back into it. But for me, I do think he's needed this season off the bench impact. And in terms of like sort of your second question, should he have come on against? But I said he should because that game opened up for him. Like, if he had come on, we could have counted with him. The problem is because he's such a, he has to face the goal. He's a runner. He's not really someone back to goal. He's not a back to goal attacker, and that's something we need. And the problem is, right, I've always said there's 3 pairings that you go for if you're going to play, and you've got to build from a striker. If you're going to play Aubameyang, and if you want that to be a striker, that's the team you play: ESR, Odegaard, Saka. If you're going to play Lacazette, then you go with Pepe and Martinelli, and then ESR, because for me, the reason why you do that is you've got to look at the strengths of each of these. Lacazette suits when he's got 2 runners on the wings, where you've got Martinelli and Pepe just running in behind. Lacazette can hold up the ball and bring them into play, whereas Aubameyang needs technical security and technical leaders in the front line to be able to get the best out of him. He needs creative outlets, and you need those 2 10s, and obviously Saka being that isolated right winger. And that's the pairings you go with. That's how you get the best out of all your attackers. So in terms of like, what does he need to do? I don't really know what he can do, because unfortunately, like, Saka's just bossing up the place. ESR's bossing it up, and their IQ and their, like, unless Arteta gets sacked and we bring a manager who can get the best out of Pepe, then it's a different story. But for me, the way that we're now moving forward is footballing IQ, people who have the intelligence, and he doesn't fit that for me. I'm not saying he's stupid, but he's just not good, in my opinion. And he doesn't suit the Premier League. He needs to go into a league on. He needs to go into a place where the space is there for him. It's the same thing that Sancho's now struggling with right now. Is he's realizing there's not enough space, and he can't just keep looking for space, taking 3 men on. You need to be more intelligent now. Sometimes you've got to let the ball go, be a bit more quicker with your decisions. But for me, I don't really know. I think at the end of the summer, I would look to sell him right now. He'll come into his final 2 years of his contract. I don't see us renewing it. I think this is the perfect time, because we'll have 2 years on his contract. We don't have to show desperation to sell him. We can just be like, yeah, if we get a £30 million bid, take it.
No, well said. Yes, Kesh, let me bring you in to RJ's question. I don't know if, I think you caught it before you went.
Listen, I used to be one of the biggest fans when he first came here, yeah, but what I've seen from him is very lackluster. And the biggest thing that scares me the most about him is I don't believe his ceiling is high for the amount of funds he paid.
Yeah.
I don't believe we're ever going to get a player that we can rely on consistently, go out there, score goals, and put in a performance. The thing with Pepe is he does tend. Yes, I see a lot of our fans compare him to Saka or have debates about him and Saka, and what they'll tend to bring up is goals to assist ratios. But for me, a player who plays for say 90 minutes and does fuck all, gets a goal, does not deserve praise. You do not deserve praise in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I know, yes, nowadays the modern era of football is all about efficiency and getting goals, but your performance got to match up as well. You've got to be showing me what you're doing on the ball, how are you affecting the game, how you're bringing the best out of your teammates. And for me, he does neither of those things. He just gets goals, he pops up once in a while here and there. And I'm not criticizing and saying he hasn't got ability, because he does have ability. But as you sort of said, like, his IQ is not quite there. And with the system that Mikel Arteta is trying to implement, I don't think he quite gets it. Like, when you watch the likes of Saka play, Saka will mix it up. Sometimes he'll give a touchline, sometimes he'll come into the pocket of space, and he'll take it on a half turn. And Pepe is a bit predictable. It's always coming in on the left, and you know what? It wouldn't be an issue if when he came on the left, he's beating a shot off like Robin. After times he comes in, and he cuts in and go on his left. It's a very poor shot, very tame, not much conviction in it. Doesn't hit the target. You know what I mean? So we can't just continually just just waiting for him to pop up and have his outbreak. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen in my eyes. So I think with 2 years left on his contract, you bite the bullet and you said, you know what, you got that wrong, and you try and get at least 35 to 40 million. And you say, go on, we invest that 40 million, get someone who's going to be more effective, who's going to suit the system to a T, and bring more to the team as a whole.
No, what's it? No, good. Let me throw my little two pennies in. RJ, big up to the question. Souls, Kesh, great answers. I think for me, I said this to I had this conversation with RJ actually when we were talking about the Arsenal Tottenham game. I think if you're going to play Pepe and Saka in the same team, for example, and Arteta did it last season, so that's what baffles me a little bit when he doesn't when he plays them on opposite flanks, with obviously Saka on the left and Pepe on the right. With I said to RJ with Saka, with the ESR goal, for example, on Sunday, with Saka on the right, even if you're like I said, even if you're you're a left-footed player, whatever, or a right-footed player playing on the opposite flank, I was always capable. I was more than capable of using my left foot. I'm a right-footed player. Because there's certain situations that require you to use your left foot or your right foot, being depending on what side of the foot. Saka's very good at doing that. That's what you say: footballing IQ, footballing intelligence, making the correct decisions at the right time. If Pepe was on the right in that situation, that goal wouldn't have happened.
No
It
way.
wouldn't have happened.
He would have chopped back once, chopped back twice, and the space would have been taken up.
Yeah,
literally crowded out.
And Kesh, I'll tell you a point. You make a good point in saying that you're not talking in the way, or any of us, about Pepe in the way that he doesn't have ability, because he does, and he has slightly improved. Maybe not enough, or not rapidly enough for some of the Arsenal fan base, or maybe even Arteta, to be honest with you. And you know what? Like RJ mentioned about setting the standard, we knew Saka. Listen, I've banged on about it for. I'm not going to swear for ages. Someone asked, he said, "What? Where do you see Saka playing?" I said, "I think Saka's better on the right of a free." I said, "If you look at his highlights reel, goals he scored, assists, it's no coincidence they come from on the right. He's got that. You say he's got that football intelligence and IQ. He makes the right call at the right time." And Kesh made a good point on Sunday when I watched him play. He's very disciplined, him and ESR, but very, very disciplined. Whether it be hugging the touchline, knowing when to come inside, knowing when to add an extra body into the box. He's very good at doing that. And unfortunately, with Nicolas Pepe, I don't think he does it enough. And that's my issue. But big up to RJ for the question. So I'm going to come to you, my friend. What do you want to fire at the brothers in terms of your hidden question, bro?
Yeah, and I think this comes off the back of, obviously we've seen an article kind of going around about Guendouzi kind of being a problem again in terms of just his attitude. Obviously, from what we've seen, and this isn't me throwing shade at him or my agendas of it, no, but it's just a question of, I think sometimes as fans we forget how important it is to have a good attitude, have a good mentality. But then obviously when it comes to arrogance, that's what he's showing, but too early. Like he doesn't necessarily demand that sort of respect in the way. He needs to earn it. Do we now think, like, I'm not saying did Arteta get it right, but what I'm guessing, what I'm asking is, from what we've now seen with these, like, because some people criticize them, look at them, the little like bum chums, they're licking Arteta's ass and this, that, the other. He can't manage difficult personalities.
Yeah.
Do we now, after seeing these signings and what they're bringing, I know it's early to say, and I know we've lost three, but despite the results, forget results, even the wins, just from what you hear from them in terms of their press conferences, what you see of them in terms of training footages, and what you're seeing off the bench and everything like that as well, do you think that the approach that Arsenal are taking in terms of building this mental culture is good? And have we seen this for 17 years? Or do you think finally, after about, from the Wenger era, from the Emery era, is this now changing?
I'm going to get Kesh to kick off that question. Good question, Souls, man. Great question.
I think he's actively trying to change it. You know what I mean?
different bit. Yeah, just a little bit more, mate. If you can
I
crank it.
think he's actively trying to change it. I think it's too soon to say it's completely changed. I think over the next, say, 9 to 12 months, we will know for sure whether it's changed or not. I feel looking at the Guendouzi thing, I think he's trying to get a lot of that kind of negative attitude, that kind of rub off, that blame game. I'm not saying Guendouzi's not a good player. I hear what a lot of fans saying, "Oh, you could do a better job than El Nini," and that. I get it, but for me, what I've seen from that Marseille game, he tends to play the blame game quite a lot. Like the player that he was digging out played poor, but when Doozy himself played poor as well. And I think that's the attitude that Mikel Arteta don't want. Fair enough if you're performing at your skin and your teammates are letting you down, then by all means you dig him out. But at times when it's you as a whole as a team, you need to look at yourself first rather than your teammates. And that mentality, looking at the profile of players, and obviously I can't tell the ins and outs, but from what I've seen from what Tamiyasu and guys like that are saying in their interview, they're all here to help the team. They're here for the team. They want to play for the badge, and they want to do it as a collective. There was far too many individuals over the last 3 to 4 seasons when the time got tough and they had to dig in. They went missing. They started getting into little cults, whether it's Ozil, Mustafi, and little things like that. Too many segregation, and that's why we never had no stability. And for me, I like what the squad turning into right now. I'm not saying we got world beaters or anything, but what I've seen is players that want to play for themselves. And when the time gets tough, they're not just going to go running and hiding.
No, well said. No, go for it. I'll answer that, and I'll come to RJ. I'm going to answer it in a bit of a different way, but I think it does answer your question, Souls. In terms of, for me, in terms of, it does touch on the culture a little bit. But I mentioned yesterday on, or a couple of days ago on Hybrids Gone. I mentioned it actually last season, to be honest, that with Arsenal, I find it very, very, very difficult to like this team. Very difficult. I didn't enjoy watching the games. As I mentioned a few days ago, like I grew up, I'm an 80s kid, as I like to say, 21 plus VAT and all that. But I grew up with the likes of Casey and Wrighty and Kevin Richardson and Merson, and loved these guys. Loved them. And the best way I can sort of describe it is there's none of these current crop. Maybe probably ignore this season because that's unfair. But over recent years, where you're not going to catch me buying an Arsenal shirt with their names at the back of my shirt, you're having a bloody laugh. But we have hope, Souls, now, because I look at a Ramsdale who embodies that, the fan wanting him to do well, and I can see why they would like him. I can see why they would get behind Gabriel. I see why they get behind the likes of Tierney. Sambi Lokonga is going to fall into that already, even at this early stage. So we have a bit more hope now that, I understand part of the culture. They got rid of the clicks, which was a huge problem at Arsenal. I mean, everyone's seen the tweet from Mesut Ozil. Or the one previously, shall I say, but you don't want to tweet recently when we beat, that to me, that highlights for me why he should have been gone.
Yeah.
You can't have bad apples in your dressing room. And he wasn't the only one. Don't just fall on Guendouzi's shoulders and the attitude. So, yeah, so as Marcel answers your question, we've got hope in terms of some of the boys that are at this club now that you can get excited about and get behind them. And that's what's changed for me, brother. So, RJ, come in with answer Sol's question, my friend.
Thing is, yeah, look at that Guendouzi. Now, I did have hope for him when he first came in. I thought, okay, this kid looks pretty bright, pretty intelligent on the ball, certain things. I liked what I saw. But what I didn't like, and I think a lot of people kind of threw this context into me because I was just more annoyed with what was in the midfield. And I looked at him, I thought, yeah, you know what, like him, Torreira, it could be good. But the attitude, and this is where a lot of people You know, some people don't even make it into football because it's their attitude. They might have all the talent in the world, this, that, and the third,
100%.
but their attitude has to be there. It's not a coincidence. Every single club he's been at, the managers have complained about his attitude. Yeah,
Yeah,
and even this comment here, he's such a drama
yeah,
queen. But this is what I'm saying. It's like it took me a while to realize this, like because again, I was lost in the emotion on Xhaka and El Nene, and it's just like we need
mm,
someone. I always thought if he come hit back, Party could probably slap some sense into him or something. Do you know what I mean? I felt like he
yeah,
needed
yeah,
like
yeah,
a proper someone to lean on. But to be
yeah, yeah,
honest,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
I'm there like where the point was, nah, do you know what? Don't even bother. Because you also the key point is the fact that he was the under 21's French captain, and
mm,
you're out here not even trying to help people, but you're just basically disrespecting them. It's like, come on,
yeah,
man. You have these leadership qualities, Dr. Evil Fingers, but you're not really applying that. And what are
yeah,
like you? I'm going to echo what you said, Albert, about the team. They're leaning off each other. They're helping each other. I don't know if Guendouzi would be doing that if he still be with the squad right now. So for me, yeah, good riddance to bad rubbish, man. I'm sorry. I've seen the light.
well
I've
said.
seen the light.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, big up to you guys, man. But yeah, sort of before we get the score prediction, because we're gonna come to end of the show, guys. Gonna get these guys score predictions. But yeah, with the Guendouzi thing, I'll be honest with you, and I've said it quite a few times, to be honest with you. You guys might disagree, but I was never convinced. Never. I mean, I think I think the game that sort of kind of Arsenal fans were like, "Raw, like where's this come from?" When we play the 2-2 draw at the Emirates, Emery's second season, when he ran around like a madman for about 15, 20 minutes, which we all do when we're young. We all do when we're young kids in the playground or play football. Our mates, we think we can, do it on our own and take the ball and take on 20 man, and he did that. But boys, I've never been convinced. I was never convinced of him. And RJ mentioned it with the attitude thing. I was done with him a long time ago, to be honest with you. People were trying to put up highlight reels of him when he's in Germany. I'm like, is this what you're really showing me? Like, it's not that's not that's not the kind of highlight reel I'd expect to see to say to me, you know what, he should be in the team. No. So, like Ryan said, I won't lose sleep over him, but that's just me. But people, smash the like button, like RJ said, and follow my Steam Gooners on their channels. But before we get the score predictions, guys, you should know what to do by now. And there you have it once again, people. So, guys, score prediction. People, get your virtual hugs and waves. Goodbyes. So I was gonna come to you, man. Oh yeah, Kesh, of course. Kesh, for your question. Sorry, man.
Mine's not even related to Arsenal, to be honest. Mine
Good.
is more on the path of where football's going. Like,
Yeah.
do you not feel that it's losing its aura? Like, that feeling of magic.
Mm.
Whether it's to do with football going in a system route or it's just to do with the way clubs are run these days, I feel like the money that's coming to football is kind of, I don't know, taking something away from it, because
Right.
what
It's
you
a good
got now
question.
is the likes of Barca, who's just over the last few years just overspent like crazy, and now
Stupid.
put
Yeah.
themselves in a crazy position now where you think, how did they even get back? You got lots of Madrid is looking out of sorts, like Juventus looking out of sorts,
Italian clubs.
like
Yeah.
many top teams are, And then when you look at how dominant the Premier League is now because of the financial power, the other leagues are getting left behind, and you just think, how are how is it going to work in the Champions League? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a bit weird. I don't know.
No, before I'm gonna get salsa. Before you do that, Novski, I apologize profusely to Kesh, Pastor Kesh, for not getting his question, but big up to you, Novski, for that in the chat. Yeah, Souls, kick or ask that question. Kesh is a great question. It's a great question. It's a question that's been circulated around for quite a few years, to be honest with you. People they'll always love football, of course they will. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'll let Souls come in what he wants to say about that now.
Yeah, like I was discussing this with obviously Jess, obviously on an Arsenal panel, and we were speaking about, is it because we're not in it, or is it just generally become like this? Obviously, I follow a lot of European football. I try and watch what I can, but obviously La Liga is mainly my go-to league if I'm not watching anything else. And I was talking here from like a Barca's perspective. I'm like, firstly, you've got to look at how much of a commercial revenue loss that these clubs have made. If you look at Arsenal, it was reportedly about 420 to 490 million pounds through the pandemic that they've lost in terms of revenue. When you look at Man United, it was nearly £500 million or just upwards of £500 million that they lost. So when you're looking at two of the biggest clubs in England in terms of global revenues, in terms of global fan bases, there's a lot of money being lost. Like, and that comes from different perspectives. Like people obviously losing jobs and no longer being able to buy shirts. I know no one's allowed to go to the stadium, so we can even look at how can the club still somewhat make money outside of like ticket sales and like on match day, like it's through like sort of shirt sales, merchandise, like sort of advertisement, everything like that. But they're no longer making that money. So obviously they've taken a big hit, you know, like Barcelona's, Real Madrid's, Juventus's. They don't have owners. They have presidents who have to then bring in their own financial investment and then they can be elected. And obviously they, you know, for example, in Barcelona, they lost out on a €300 million naming rights deal. They've lost out on obviously the commercial revenue being brought in terms of tourism, match day tickets, etc. So they're no longer making that. So I think on a financial scale, those teams have now just been evened out in terms of just financially. They're no longer allowed to spend the money they can actually spend. But I think it comes down to accessibility as well. I think football's become too expensive for the normal person. It used to be a game for the working class, but now it's become a game not for the rich. I wouldn't say it's still accessible, but not so accessible. Like if you think about match day tickets, for example, it's costing people upwards of like 50, 60.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like costing people 60 quid a game. And if you're looking at season tickets, that's like nearly £1,000-ish, you know, per season. And that's just Premier League home games. That's not, you know, talking cup games and, you know, all the other games that you can go to. That's not including away. And then that's not even including travel. Like, don't forget, you have to travel to these games. Not everyone has the luxury of living like 10 minutes away from the ground or 20, 30-minute walk away from the ground where you're like, all right, I can walk in. Some people have to take a train or a metro or drive in, etc. This, you know, and I think it's become too. And like, even if you're watching it on TV, like I'll talk about my own package. Like it costs me nearly, I think for Sky Sports and BT Sports, and that only gets you some of the games. It's costing me nearly 50-ish quid, 60-ish quid a month. That's not easy for people. Like I know it sounds but 60 a month. Come on now, you can afford. No, like be real. For some people, like forget that. Like some people can't even afford broadband. Like forget about non-essential stuff. Like you don't even actually like watching football. Okay, cool. Do it if you can. Don't do it if you can't. But and I think that's the problem. And I think that's why it's lost that aura, because when you think about what Man City did when the Sheikhs first took over, their whole mantra was, we're going to make it accessible. Their season tickets were like 200, 300 quid. Yeah, we can take the piss, they don't have any fans, that's fine, like, whatever. But their season tickets were 300, 400 pounds. I actually checked it because I couldn't believe it. I was like, what, you're telling me for a whole season it's costing me 400 quid to go watch Man City? Why not? You know, and it's still the case. It's still like 500, maybe 600 quid. You know, and then obviously you've got all your diamond like lounges and all of that. But that's up to you if you want to splash out. And
they cost a flipping packet.
Yeah, but and I think that's the problem. It's just not accessible anymore for the because if you think about it, then if you've got two kids, that's even more fucking annoying. Because you know what the funny thing is, kids cost the same as adult ones now. It's like 50 quid or something. I'm like, what?
That's why. So you make a good point. That's why I feel sorry for parents, man. Because boy, if you've got 2 or 3 children, it's not just you're getting the kit. You're getting the name on the back. You're getting a number. You're getting a Premier League badge. It costs an arm and a leg. And
that's 110 quid. Like if you're doing name, I think to print a name is like 15, 20 quid. Then they charge you like 5 quid for the badge. Then imagine doing that 3 times. All right, let's say you get one.
And the numbers.
Yeah, and then like exactly. Say you do one each. That's like nearly 300-400 quid that a parent has to spend. And I think that's kind of what my like major issue is. If let's say they made, you know, Sky, like let's say there was one channel, or let's say 2, let's call it 2 channels, because at the moment that's what it is. But the combined Yeah, basically, I don't have any kids, so I'm all right. But but the combined cost, let's say, was like 30 quid. Then you're like, okay, you know what, doable, £30 a month to watch it on TV, cool. But that's not the case, and people can't afford it.
So you make a good point, because even touching on Gary's point there about taking sports away from the fans in the stands. But even perfect example, right? Arsenal's Carabao Cup game.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
How can we be in the 21st century? So it's a great question. I mean, Kesh, it's a great question. How can we be in the 21st century if you can't go to the game, for example, you can't afford it, shall I say? Let me go and watch it or stream it. I'm not advising that, but people do it. But anyway,
if it's on TV, why the fuck not in it?
Yeah, you cannot find anywhere. What is?
Did you see how they joked about it? They go, "Oh yes, we're gonna show the Leeds game." I'm like, "Nah, fam, you're taking the fucking."
Yeah. It's sorry, so you're right, but it's accessibility thing. It's the best way I can also answer your question, Kesh. It's a really good question, man. It's something you could actually probably do even a whole debate about, to be honest. Soldiers made a good point. Like, it's expensive to go and watch football, man. And like I said, if you can't even watch your team on television, because even with a Sky Sports or a BT Sports package, you still can't watch all the games. Then you got to think of Amazon. It's crazy. Even Kesh, is a great question, because even you could even spread it amongst a number of different sports. We know Souls, Tanner Bearded Guna. He said he cannot believe that in England some of the prices you have to pay and what you don't actually get. He said he couldn't believe it.
And the thing is, it's the way they force things in that you don't want as well. It's mad.
Yeah.
It's crazy, honestly.
Even the tennis, right? If it wasn't for Emma Raducanu getting to the final, terrestrial television wouldn't have shown that.
It's true.
They're not even showing finals, man. Like, you can't even before you Soldiers, Kesh, right? You could have Sky Sports package. You could watch the French Open, Australian Open, Wimbledon, whatever. Because Wimbledon be on terrestrial television anyway. But now you have to pay more to watch a tournament.
Yeah,
it's madness, bro. Like, it's only going to get worse. I'm scared.
That's actually true what you said. Because I remember, like, my early days in secondary school, Wimbledon and all that will be on BBC and all that. Like, you know what I mean? Catch it.
Yeah. It's madness. It's mad. But no, Kesh is a brilliant.
But also, Champions League was exclusively ITV and BBC, which was like obviously preview.
It was fun. Yeah. That's when Champions League was fun.
Listen, whatever happens with the next future, whatever next World Cups in the next 20, 30 years, listen, don't listen. I'm not even taking the piss when I say it. Watch out. Just watch out. Just watch out. That's what I'm going to say. Arjun, let me come to you with questions. Brilliant question, man. Is RJ there? Is he gone? I think he's gone, man. Oh, RJ's lost. We lost him, brother. Are you there? It's gone, bro.
No, this disconnection. I'll make it short and sweet before my internet decides to just say this is a bad topic. We're cutting them off. Maybe someone's trying to shut me down. For me, I just think, like, over the years, money's just ruined a lot of things. Ownership has ruined a lot of things. I mean, we know football. We can talk about various sports, of course. You guys basically touched on it. But if I'm going to talk about football, because it's what I mainly know, I look at it, it's not even our sport anymore that much. You know? Even with the TV companies. I mean, remember in the pandemic last season, they were like, I think it was Burnley versus Southampton on pay-per-view. Who in their right mind's doing that other than their own fan base? Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely ridiculous. Then you hear certain pundits, not going to name them, and I'm not going to lie, I agreed with what they were saying within their rant, but you're working for that company that do the same thing. So it's a little bit backhanded, isn't it? But like I said, I'll make this short and sweet. I mean, a lot of owners nowadays, all they care about is money and making money, and some don't spend money to make money. And I feel, you know, even when you look at our club, we have the highest season ticket prices
Yeah.
in Europe, and what do we see? 8th place finishes, an FA Cup here and there, not even a title challenge, not even a top four. I mean, I mean, I always say to this, the fans have have to really speak, but they don't allow themselves to keep going. It's not even so much, oh, do we have the energy and all that. It's just about you keeping up the fight. You know, this is why
Yeah.
I've always said this. Everyone talking about, oh, we need to get the owners out. I'm like, well, stay consistent. Don't, when we had the Chelsea game, everyone was talking protest. There weren't no protests. There was a few people there just
No,
here
there
like,
wasn't.
oh, where's the protest? Oh, everyone was talking online. I mean, come on. That was embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? So that's all I really got to say about that. Until people wake up and get serious and try and take charge of what they love, then it's just going to be the same thing. People could say we can't do nothing, but like Public Enemy said, fight the power in it. That's what I've got to say on it.
Well said, man. Guys, we're coming to the show. We're going to get your score predictions for Brighton. I'm going to start off with RJ, actually. What's your thoughts, my friend? Score prediction.
Tough game. Going to be a very tough game. Like I said, I do believe we can carry the momentum into going in this game and winning it. I'm not going to say clear out score in terms of, oh, yeah, we'll blow them away. No. I don't think it'll be that easy, but I feel it'll be tough. We know Mope, our best friend, of course, is going to try and make an example, or, like he told Henri on Monday Night Football, he's going to try and be a pain in our ass. So for me, I'm going 2-1.
Good shout. Positivity. Kesh, my bro. Pastor Kesh. What you saying, bro?
I'm going 2-1.
Well, 2-1 as well. 2-1. I do think we'll concede. I do think we will. Souls, what you saying, bro?
2-0.
2-0.
They've got no Basuma, no Webster, no Welbeck. They've got just genuinely they're all out injured. So I think when we really look at it, I'm not saying if all right. My condition is Ramsdale starts, we keep a clean sheet. If Leno starts, we concede. That's what I'm going for.
Okay, cool. And obviously, you're obviously too your host Albert JTV. People, what am I saying? I think, like I said, I'll stick with what I said because obviously I mentioned about the points predictions earlier, but I think it will be a score draw. I know Souls has mentioned about the players being out. It's probably not. It's definitely not. It's definitely not kidology. They're definitely out. I think, but I'm gonna stick with. Obviously, I want to be proved wrong, but I'm gonna stick. I think Arsenal might come away with a score draw. People in the chat, weekly surgery is now closed. Not forever, just temporarily. Smash the like button, people. Follow my esteemed guests. My Twitter and Instagram is going along the bottom of the screen. And also, I will highlight my esteemed panel. Make sure you go and follow them, subscribe to their channels. Kesh hasn't got a channel, but obviously go and watch him on every single live stream the guy turns up to. Because the guy's spitting facts, along with Souls and Fresh and the Prince of YouTube in RJ. So, guys, Soulsy, thank you for coming again, bro. Good to get you guys on. Where can the people find you?
Yeah, Good Souls, or mainly I'm on Shino's Arsenal on Jess's channel, and odd occasion I'm on the Football Terrace when I can, and then obviously weekly surgery as well.
Yes, you're definitely a good patient, bro. Prince of YouTube, right, my bro, man. Keep striving, keep pushing, bro. Where can the people find you?
Well, you guys can find me on Ryan Williams AFC, road to 200 subs. Quick plug.
Yes. Go on, bro.
Go
on, my bro. Plug it, yeah.
On Twitter at RJ Wills. And you can find me in A&E with my brothers here. Trying to do some
big up us. And Kesh, Pastor Kesh, the man who's moving big these days, coming up with some big pictures on his Twitter, man. Royalty. Kesh, my bro, man, as always, man. Where can the guys find you, man?
Yeah, you can check me out on Twitter. That is underscore Kesh. That is KESH underscore. Shall I say? And you
Yeah,
can also find me over on the football terrace. I've been very busy lately, so I haven't really
yeah,
been getting on with the
yeah.
schedule and everything. But you'll soon find me over there defending the Arsenal as always.
That's it, man. You keep up the good work, bro. Don't let them man there try and take you down, man. Definitely not. But big up to my bros, man. Love doing this format with you guys, man. It's you know, we're winning 2 shows in. It's only gonna get bigger and better, man. Don't worry about that, people. So, like I said, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, follow my Steam Gooners. I'll put this on my IGTV and also my Spotify and Anchor. So yeah, people, Albert JTV, your host at AUM57. Weekly surgery is now closed for today. Episode 3 is coming your way very soon, people. Weekly surgery is out.